What's going on?
How we doing? Where's your hat?
I'm a hard out at 1 o'clock because I'm going into the witness protection program because jackasses started a fire online. So
go online.
If it isn't the consequences of your own actions,
not
you know what?
You got what's happened here? You guys have put a quarter into Rob Ray all of a sudden.
No, what's happened is you've been running your mouth for years and years, footloose and fancy free. Just no repercussions. You got Chris Simon behind you. You got Olawa. You got Pronger. You got Tony Twist in St. Louis. You've been running things for too long, just shooting your mouth off. And finally, it's come home to roost, Noodlers. It's coming back to get you.
Well, let's take a look. This happened 2 days ago on this very program.
Who's that?
Jamie McLennan.
Oh, I got a problem with him.
Do you?
Because he called you big head.
Called me mascot head. And I will see that guy.
I'll write that down.
Mascot head. He took something that was funny, personal.
Take this clip.
And that will be addressed. Noodles.
Oh dear.
Okay, first and foremost, I went back and watched the show. And
Context important. Yes, unprompted.
Okay, yeah, because I went back and watched the show. I was like, what is the context? How does this come up? And then, Boomer, you're like, yeah, Noodles says that GMs have to be a sociopath. And he's like, who's that? Noodles? And then afterwards, I was waiting for him to be like, yeah, he's a good guy, like a guy nothing.
No.
Like feathers. And like people are sending me like, is this like a school bully that wants to beat you up after school? I'm like, I'm sitting there going, I think I owe him a phone call or a text because I don't know when I said it. I will never, I'm not denying it because I'm sure I said it. I've made jokes about him being a big dude. One time we were in the benches, in between the benches.
Well, I was going to say, Jamie, I think it was on this show where you had said you were both between the benches and it was either that or when he got hit with the puck and you said, well, yeah, look at the
size of the target type of thing. Yes.
Yes.
But
big up.
Okay. So I've seen him since, and like every time I see him, good conversations and that. So I was like wondering, is there context or has somebody said something worse or is he heard, like, did I get AI'd or something like that?
Let's take another look because, like you say, maybe he's a funny guy, right?
Very funny.
And funny guy. It's probably tongue in cheek or let's just see if we can, does it feel like he's fooling around? Let's take just one more.
Break it down. Break the tape.
Who's that?
Jamie McLennan.
Oh, I got a problem with him.
Do you?
Because he called you big head.
Called me mascot head. And I will see that guy.
I'll write that down.
Mascot head. He took something that was funny, personal.
Take this clip.
And that will be addressed. Noodles.
So I was just looking at the schedule.
Here's the problem. I'm going to be between the benches with him like in 10 days.
December 23rd.
Yeah.
His last game before Christmas. Noodles is going to have black eyes showing up to the Christmas Eve dinner.
I'm going to issue a formal apology on every show that I'm going to be on. And I'm going to have it clipped and sent to him because I think he's a funny guy. I think he's joking. But I was like, what bothered me about this is both of you guys didn't follow up. Boomer's like, oh, we'll just leave it there and move on. Like,
well, it felt like something that just needed to be let go.
You don't want to get in the way.
Because you know what it was? Because at the end, he does the noodles.
Yeah. And I was waiting for you guys to go, he's great. He owes me cheese toast. We love him. We have him on every Wednesday. Like,
yeah.
And you guys are like, okay, we won't talk about him anymore. Let's move on. Him under the bus. And I was like, okay, where's my friends going? No, he's great. Don't talk like that. Like it was like, no, nothing to see here. You're right. We hate his guts.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. That was offside. That was unfair of him to say.
Well, the juice is running on that cheese toast. I don't know. Maybe there's a lesson in here, Noodles.
It is. You know what? And I don't think he's serious, but if he's serious, I owe him an apology. And either way, I owe him an apology just to make sure that he didn't take that personally. because I do believe I said it. I might have said it on your show. I think I've said it somewhere else.
Well, at least twice.
Oh, yeah, you're probably saying it everywhere.
the
You don't
time.
even know.
Yeah.
You're running your mouth.
And then, so be, if it crossed the line, then I need to apologize for it. That's it.
I feel like if you just bring him a hot dog with mustard on the 23rd, it'll all be good. I think that you can buy your way out of this. Absolutely.
I'll buy my way out of it. And you know what? The thing is a lot of times when we're in Buffalo, I don't know, like calling games, like he sits kind of like in the trainer's room. So I
that's where he lived.
Yeah, but no, he just goes in there and BS's with the guys, and I'll go sit with them and just BS with them. Like I say, I never knew our relationship was fractured right now. I'm actually like, I'm upset that I might have hurt a friend. That's what I
see it.
Oh dear.
It's kind of, and we'll move on. But it is kind of one of those things. I think of someone like Brock Lesnar, somebody who's just kind of, when they're talking and then all of a sudden their voice kind of gets quiet and gets
yes.
It's like,
it was like he was.
There's a chill in the air.
Yes, he was the Undertaker.
Yes. Yeah.
And going, I will see you in the parking lot. This was Happy Gilmore with the guy.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Next time, pick on like Mark Savard or somebody. This was a bad move.
Now let's assume that it does
escalate into fisticuffs, and we're gonna have a square.
Let's do the tail of the tape here. Rob Ray.
You're in between the boxes in
Tight
Buffalo.
space.
Are you a lefty? He doesn't like lefties, so you can sneak him in there, but he'll throw back.
If there was a garbage can this big in between the benches, he would stuff me in it. Just for fun. Keep that in mind.
Well, and I think he can take a punch because remember he got hit in the head with that puck.
Twice.
Remember, he took the puck and just kept going.
He didn't even miss
I'd maybe load some brass knucks or something up just in case.
I feel like, you know what, you disarm people with the truth. You go at it and say, I apologize, I screwed up. And if he punches me in the face, then I'll turtle or do whatever. Like, I don't have any defense moves.
Lenova wings also work. Chicken parm from Chefs is a nice touch. He's a big fan of that.
No, but it's in Ottawa, is it not? Noodles 23rd.
It's in Ottawa. Game's in Ottawa, so I can bring him some poutine or something. Saint Hubert chicken.
Well, Jack, if we go to the full shot on Jamie, I was also thinking that probably what you could do is just take that mask.
Yeah,
that's above.
That's a great idea.
You could just wear that.
My producer messaged me right away with the clip. Excuse me, I'm choking.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, it's coming down to something.
Finally, now you got nothing to say now, hey Noodles?
Might have to miss a few games.
Finally, stop running.
I can't do it. I can't do it. He messaged me right away. He goes, "You guys are in between the benches on the 23rd. Like, is he mad at you?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I'm going to sort this out." But I talked to him this morning, and I said, what I should do is we should do a segment on it. Yes. And I could bring him on the show and have a formal apology right to his face. But then, if it's a planned like wrestling thing, then maybe he does like give me a little cross-faced chicken wing and choke me out on air for fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, from the Sabres point of view, they would love that because they need nice things to talk about. They even had me up.
They won last night. They almost pissed one away, but they won on the road. It wasn't in regulation, but I was more sad that I heard that you guys had a party the night before the game. It sounded like you were retro, you and your boys Cruiser, and you were rattling off names there. It was just the old boys club was out for dinner.
No, that was the year before. These guys were all gone. Kenny Sutton and Paul Cruz and Sanderson.
Yeah, I played with Kenny Sutton and I grew up with Jeff Sanderson.
Trouble those two.
All of my friends, you're out with my friends.
Hey, if they're good enough for you.
Exactly.
I just want to follow in the footsteps.
Sorry, I was just going to say, speaking of last night, can we do we have a little thing that we call, it's Warner's whiteboard. And every once in a while, there'll be a play or a highlight that, Ryan and I, we haven't played. So many people watching, we haven't played. You just want to try and get inside the brains of the players and what they might think.
Give me the Bouchard clip.
So let's take a look. The Warner whiteboard corner. So there it is.
Mm-hmm.
And this is last night, the game you speak of, the Edmonton Buffalo game.
This is
Okay.
This is, I don't know
What we
what.
got here?
It's not Noodles' whitebboard. Just let the Redster work here.
So
Let's
that's
do
Evan-
it one more time, Jack, just because I want to make sure I've got all the details in place. Okay.
there are replays.
Stop.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah.
So there is a forechecker. I believe it is that Tuck.
I'm going to tell you
who
what he's
falls
thinking.
down.
He's thinking.
Tuck and it's Thompson, 2 8-foot players, but that Thompson's got like a 12-foot stick. And I think Bouchard is going, oh, Tuck's coming this way. I'll take a step out, and then goes, whoops, I'm going to walk into an 8-foot guy. And then it goes, I'm just going to bumble this away. And Thompson goes, I'll take this and fire it in the net after a disallowed goal. Keep in mind, they had just disallowed. That's why Thompson points to it. They had just disallowed a Thompson goal that went off of Tuck's hand.
I think Bouchard's thinking. Oh,
Skinner probably should have had that though. I mean,
why are you doing? That's what
if they had a
I was
goal.
going to finish off with saying. Then
Yeah.
Bush thought, "What the fuck you doing, Skinner? Let's like
Look at this guy.
Oh yeah, old boathead. Get at it. Love that.
That we need a freeze frame on that grit grinder. But yes, this is just
Goodness.
So this is in regulation. That's
well, the OT one might be more egregious. Like this is egregious.
yeah. So this is the regulation,
But
and
this is
over.
this guy in his own end. He's terrible.
So
Yeah,
this
but-
is overtime. McDavid scores with
Go
a
back
second.
farther on this play, Jack, where they win the draw and it goes to Bouchard, and he doesn't do anything with it. He loses it
immediately
on the
surrenders.
wall.
Yeah. So
Then
sorry.
we-
This is as far back as we have on this clip.
Okay.
So 3-on-3. McDavid is on the ice along with Bouchard, and you'll see them kind of converge here as the play.
Now I don't think McDavid should go there.
So, I was just going to say, regardless of because there's more than one mistake, and that's usually what happens. But 3-on-3 hockey has gotten so boring. Why? Well, this is my guy. That's your guy.
Stand
That's
on
your
that,
guy.
yeah.
You
Reload,
just
reload,
stand
reload.
beside him and don't get beat by your guy, and everything's fine.
But on that,
All three go to the puck.
but
Look at the Oilers.
I said to
What
Ryan,
the F is that?
I said to Ryan before the show, I said it's probably more McDavid, but it's more fun to blame Bouchard.
It's all three of them.
It's all three. And then here's the other thing too. And in defense of Stuart Skinner, but not in defense.
Mm.
They had back-to-back overtime wins with Jack Roslovic, a couple weeks ago. And prior to those goals that he scored, Stuart Skinner had made a big save. So we're not talking about this if he comes across, pushes out, and seals the ice, right?
No,
Like
you're right.
He should stop that.
I was going to say it's not like it's a rocket coming from
No,
Tuck. He just
no,
kind
it's
of
just like, oh, this is Skinner. Easy.
there's all four guys on the ice, including the goalie, are culpable on the play. But I think, and maybe this is my theory because I was watching it, Edmonton was a dog for 2 periods. They had a couple good looks, and Lyon came in and made some good saves, and they were zipping it around in the power play, couldn't convert. But then the third period, Edmonton wakes up and pushes. McDavid scores with what? 1.4, whatever it was, 1 second left. Okay. I think in their mind, they got to the benches like, we're winning. It's just, we're winning, and that's it. Like Buffalo's
Building's going nuts.
back
Yeah.
in, and whatever we do out there doesn't matter. We're just going to get the puck and go down and score. And to me, that is where, I look at it like, I get it. Where was it? It's Wednesday. So Tuesday night in December. But like the attention to detail in all the games that I'm watching, I was talking to coaches yesterday, and they're like, it's hard to keep these guys in it every night because they're like the schedule, the injuries, that all the practice time. I talked to Sheldon Keefe yesterday. He was saying that they'd had one practice. They had 11 games in 19 nights, and they had one practice, which was 32 minutes 2 days ago. And he said, other than that, it was 3 weeks without one practice. Like he said, you're trying to survive with these guys. Now, that I'm not absolving Edmonton for that. What I'm saying is the product of the NHL is hemorrhaging for me because this condensed schedule, you're seeing some really crappy plays out there. Some really like weird, uncharacteristic, brain dead plays.
Yeah, Monday was like that here, and they're 2 bottom teams, but it was so sloppy and
Well, yeah, watching that game, same thing. You're trying to. I feel like, and I did the Ottawa game last night. Now Ottawa ends up losing in regulation, But that game felt like if you would have said that both coaches at the start of the game would have gone and shook hands and said, let's get a tie and go for it in overtime, they would have taken it because Ottawa had lost 3 in a row at home and New Jersey had lost 5 in a row. So you're sitting there going, we'll take a point. You can see now I'm watching teams get me to overtime, get us a point, and then we'll go for it in overtime type of thing. Mm-hmm. And it's the product suffers kind of within it. That's and same thing with Ottawa last night. A couple brain dead plays, and that's in regulation. They leave 2 points on home ice. So it's throughout the league.
So the product suffers because it's not great hockey because your energy levels are low and you're not getting practice time.
Yeah.
But it keeps everything tight because the standings are stupid.
You've never seen this tight.
I've never seen it this tight, this far along. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Pender, do you have analytics to suggest this is probably the closest year or anything?
No, but it just feels that way. Honestly, we looked the other day, and the difference between being first in the Atlantic and being out of the playoffs was 1 or 2 points. You're like,
we have to almost catch ourselves. Like, look at these guys; they're second from the bottom, but they're 3 points out of a wild card. It's
right now the only thing, and I keep saying it. This might be one of these just weird years where it's like going to be a weird year. Things happening. I mean, guys, barbecue injuries, falling on the glass. Like you've just the weirdest type of stuff happening. And I'd love to know the real stories behind them, not the ones that just go out to the, to the media and the fans. But it's just like, it's a weird year. And 5 losses in a row or 5 wins in a row puts you in that mix.
Home ice versus draft lottery. Like it's crazy.
Unless you're Colorado. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like Colorado and Dallas and then a huge clump. And then it's like Vancouver, Nashville, Calgary at the bottom. But even Calgary's only 3 out. Like it's insane.
We had a barbecue accident in Florida before.
Barbecue
Your
accident?
old teammate, Mark Fitzpatrick. Didn't you play with Fitzy?
I did play with Fitzy. I beat him in tennis one time before camp. And he drove us back away from tennis, and he held his racket to the side of his face. He did not want to look at me.
It's got strings; you can see through it.
He was driving like this.
I think Fitzy was dancing on the barbecue this time when things went south.
So just to get back to Edmonton real quick, because you noted it, like Leon wins the opening face-off of overtime. The building and momentum is entirely in Edmonton's court.
So gross.
He pulls it back clean.
Hippo tank.
And Bouchard, basically, all he has to do is win not even a 50-50 puck. It's like an 80-20 puck. He doesn't. And then away they go. Buffalo has possession.
Yeah.
Like we talked 2 weeks ago, and I get it. I understand there's a huge mental fatigue when you played as much hockey and as deep into the season as they have. But like, when should you be worried if you're the Oilers? Only 2 teams have fewer regulation wins. And you're not going to get 3-on-3 in shootouts in the playoffs if you get there. They probably get there. But like, what's the concern level? Do they have to address goaltending? Or are we just waiting for everything to settle?
No, I think you have to have concerns. I think that they're a team. You're right. They're in a playoff spot. I think they're just kind of meddling along and doing their thing. But I do think if the team is serious about trying to get back to the finals again, that roster isn't complete. That's the way I would say it. And a nip and tuck. I thought the Roslovic signing has been good. The injury, it sucks for him. Savoy kid is a nice player. I think I read an Athletic article the other day because I don't get to watch a lot of minor league hockey or prospects, right? So they had Edmonton's prospects that it sounds like Bowman's done a pretty good job trying to restock the shelves, put it that way, in the minors and in their system. But you're talking about, I think the goaltending position's not going away. It's always going to be a hot button top. Stuart Skinner he had a shutout the other day.
He has to win the cup.
He has to win the cup for them to stop talking about it. He's been close twice. But what happens is it's the perception. Stuart Skinner can win 5 in a row, and then he loses one bad one and gets pulled. And people go, there you go. They need a goaltender. And fair or unfair, I think we've talked about this. I think they might look at a lateral move, but it's more about Calvin Pickett's spot, unfortunately. Older. Mm-hmm. I like Connor Ingram. He's trying to get his game in order in the AHL level. I think he's a talented goaltender. lots of rumblings from the insiders around potentially Tristan Jarry. I think what they're trying to do is bring in another goaltender to have a tandem instead of just Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. I think it's Skinner and player X, whether that's UC Saros, which I don't know if they have the currency or to get that contract, all of that. We've talked about it. But I do believe that we will have this conversation, whether it's sooner than later. That tandem as it exists today will not be there probably
In the
after
playoffs.
Well, they said that after the playoffs last year. It'll be some changes in the forward ranks, similar decor, and there'll be some changes in net. And there hasn't been yet. I mean, adding a guy to your AHL roster that's had lots of issues being on the ice and available is not fixing your problem.
No, but I also think, and Brett, before we get to you, I also think that they think they're a good enough team to just kind of meddle along and work out their issues during the season.
Florida last year.
Yeah, and exactly, and allow some of these young guys to push through. And which ones I don't know, but Savoy's been a nice addition for them. They got that Noah Philp who's injured. That Thomas Scheck who's 29.
It's not like getting Kachuk or Barkov back.
No, but I mean,
Ike Howard's having a good run there, but it's his first year pro. Like I think in the spring he'll be.
I still think they're going to make a trade up front, and I think a healthy Jake Wallman helps push one of those right shot, the Regula or Emberson, either down or out of the lineup.
So is Darnell Nurse benefiting by Bouchard being so shitty? Because I don't trust their defense at all. No one talks about Nurse. Is he playing okay? Because Bouchard to me is captivating in my positive spin on things, where it's like he's still, if I looked at D scoring, probably quite high.
Yeah.
But my God, the mistakes he makes cost you wins.
Glaring. But it also, the plays he makes. So if you go back to the game tying goal with McDavid, the 1 second left, watch RNH pass it back to the point. Every right shot defenseman takes a one-timer into traffic down. What does he do? Draws everyone towards him, puts it back down to RNH, so RNH has a clean lane to the net. What he does, I have no problem. He's elite from this side of the red line.
Yeah.
Elite. One of the actual best, if you look statistically. There's Makar and him type of thing. But from here back, that's where there's a go ahead.
Well, because the stats say that. My question to you, it goes a little bit deeper. Are there other guys capable of doing that with the forward group that the Oilers have? So, and even if they aren't 100% of what Bouchard is in the offensive side of the ice, are they 80%? And are they 50% better defensively? Like, I'm trying to figure out the total value of what you're getting from Bouchard. Right? Like, because you're not going from this guy's 100% player or 100-point player in the offensive side of the ice. And he's a -20, so you end up at 8, however they want to score the system. Because you're not going from 100 to 0 offensively when you're playing with McDavid and Draisaitl and RNA.
And if I may, just to give context here, you can go look at Bouchard's numbers when those guys are off the ice, and he still heavily outscores, and outshoots the competition. And that's what makes judging him so difficult, because he is this elite offensive creator, and the body language and the timing and the highlight reel in his own zone is such a disaster. Like, emotionally, he might be worse than he actually is.
That last game,
like what you look at it is he makes plays. Like, the whole game now is getting the forwards want the puck. He makes good passes and he can get out of there. The problem is, here's a guy who played 28 minutes. In that 28 minutes, he's going to make mistakes. I think that the biggest challenge is it's not the mistakes, it's the level of the mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And I played with players. I played with a guy named Jason Ruffin Jr., and I love Jason, but people thought he wasn't trying. He was just so naturally talented, but he was big and strong and he worked hard. But the body language is like just calm, cool, and nothing fazed him. Mm-hmm. And you often wonder, like, is that just how they are? Or like, I think Edmonton, the fans are hot today, I'm sure. But you have to understand, like, you're going to have to live with that. That's just, no player is perfect. You hope that he doesn't make those glaring errors when it matters most. I think in the playoffs, he's been pretty good. You know, if you look at it again, statistically, that's the biggest challenge, Pinder. This is where the analytics and the eyesight people go crazy because it's like we're all watching the same thing. And then you look at the numbers and you know, what he's able to do offensively and even exit the zone. If you look at the way he's able to help them exit the zone, the problem is you get plays like that that are casual and lazy and
too many of them.
Well, and it's glaring. And you know what? It's probably more like we were talking about this year. It's a weird year. You're seeing more glaring errors from players that you probably wouldn't expect that from. And that's throughout the league. But Bouchard is an interest. He might be the most fascinating case in the NHL.
So you've got a hard out.
No.
We don't like to keep you because you get us in trouble with other guests.
Well, no, you guys get me in trouble.
No. You run your mouth. And this is part of the thing. You're from St. Albert. You're from Edmonton. You guys all run your yaps. We have Dave Chappelle up at the Hippo Tank, and your loser brethren are run him off the stage. What the F is wrong with people in the cultural capital of Edmonton, Alberta? We got real issues up there. What's in the water?
I did not hear the Chappelle thing.
Oh,
That's a
disaster.
disgrace.
One day after Calgary, where there was one heckler that seemed to put him off kilter, there was like dozens of morons that
Cheering
basically
for the
said,
Oilers.
I got 10 minutes where I don't get paid. I won't tell another joke. I'm good.
Really?
Losers.
I was texting my buddies going, are you going to Chappelle? Because he only went like Calgary, Edmonton, and like
Vancouver.
Portland or, you know, something. It was a weird, I was hoping he would come out here. Dave Chappelle is my number one.
Yes.
We all went.
How was he?
He was average.
He was
He
solid.
looked low
Not
energy. No, I'm not like the guys, lead up guys, whatever you call. I don't even know
great.
what
The
you call
openers
them.
are
The
phenomenal.
openers were great.
Yeah.
And Dave felt a little. His energy level didn't feel high.
Yeah.
And I think I have Americans in my house, and I get strong American political chatter. So I know
You
about
do
it.
the content.
There
Yeah.
was a lot of American political.
There's a lot of Fox News, CNN type jokes that I
And
don't
I
know
think that the
landed as
Canadians
well
were
in
like,
Canada.
yeah, well, we hear about it, but we don't really live it. And it doesn't hit home with us.
Canadians were like, where's the elbows up jokes? type
Well,
of thing.
and some of it too was if it was offside, Canadians are like, ooh, that's a little.
Yeah.
Whereas it's funny, but it's like, oh, it's maybe a little awkward to laugh.
I've seen
Dean's
him
seen the
live.
most comedy out of the three of us, and it felt like he's working on material.
Yeah.
And while he had some absolute points where you're just dying, there was the lulls in the middle he was working on. He'd have your role and then he'd lose you, but then he'd bring you back. I gave him like a 7 out of 10. The other guys are phenomenal.
It was weird. It was as though that heckler early got him
I thought
off
it did.
his game.
And that was only one. Imagine
Yeah.
50 of those morons.
Yeah, I don't like the hecklers. You guys know I have a long history with comedy and
And they said on the mic, they said two things. Even though your phones are locked up, no phones. And number two, don't talk to Dave. Don't tell him you love him. Don't say, just shush.
Yeah.
And
The Oiler losers couldn't control.
yeah, the guy had
themselves.
to, even though it was here, it had to have been a guy from.
Should probably call him a mascot head.
I've seen him live once where he just showed up and did a drop in at the Laugh
Oh.
Factory in LA. It was unbelievable. Now he just sat up there with a dart and kind of
Yeah.
like it was.
One.
Yeah, it was. But I also saw. God, I'm drawing a blank on his name. He's one of the owners of the Laugh Factory. Dane Cook.
Oh yeah.
He showed up and had a few drinks and did an hour and was like, it wasn't funny. It was tough.
No.
He had a rough night, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. I love comedy, and I'm sad that I didn't see him, and I'm even more sad. I'm gonna have to dig into this Edmonton garbage. That's BS, man.
No bueno.
There's a Reddit stream that's pretty interesting.
I'll dig into it.
We didn't come here to listen to you talk about animals. You listen to him come tell jokes. That's his joke. Shut up.
Exactly.
Like you're literally paying to hear this guy's jokes.
So what's this hard out all about that all of a sudden, like you just didn't want to?
No, I
You like us, don't you?
have a production call.
Oh, I see.
Just texted and said, "Give me 5." So there it is.
We're more fun, aren't we?
5.
Well, I
You
had
like
to come on and defend myself the first 10 minutes. I want it, as quick as you were to clip and run with that to the internet and go, hey, look at Noodles, blah, blah, blah. And all these people sending me, you clip an apology to Rob Ray and Rhett, you text it to him.
I'm not sure. Do we have?
Yeah,
I'm not sure
we'd like to
busy
get to it, but
today.
you've got this hard
Yeah.
out. So
I don't think we were rolling tape on.
Roll the
Yeah.
tape
hard
right
out.
now.
So,
Rob Ray, I'm sorry. I will see you on the 23rd. I'm bringing hot dogs and poutine.
And a helmet.
And a
Hopefully,
helmet.
yeah.
You have to wear the helmet.
Don't
I'm
rough
telling
me
you.
up.
You're a good boy, James. We'll talk to you next week.
We'll see you soon.
Hey, buddies. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you could throw in a like and subscribe, it does help us out with what it is we are doing. And check out more at flamesnation.ca.